Hello everyone and welcome back to TIMBERBORN. This is episode 3 of the Megabuild Let's Play series. If you are new to this series, we are walking through how I make a Megabuild, and we are doing this on the smallest map, as you can see. And by the end of the series there will be a complete Megabuild ready for you guys to view. In the last episode we ramped up production. We have some dynamite that is being produced now, and we also started clearing off some of the land over here. Now the stream is going to be widened. And we're also going to be placing down some levees to start shaping how we want the stream to flow. And with that, let's get right into it. We have a lot of wood stored up, which is excellent. And so we can start looking at getting some levees placed over here. Although first we'll need to just finish off placing some dynamite around here. It's not a whole lot, so we'll just place it in and not worry about recording it. And in the last episode we also started running a little bit low on food. So we're going to start clearing out some of these berries. And we're going to make sure that we have enough beforehand. We have 400, plus we have some more growing up over here, which is okay. So we'll place some of these berries over here with some other foods. And we have the last piece of dynamite. We can just start detonating some of these. And then we'll probably detonate these ones before detonating all, just to be efficient. And to get ready to start placing the levees on the side, we're going to have to unfortunately get rid of some of these showers. Let's go ahead and do that right now. And then we'll continue detonating the dynamite. We'll finish this row off. The last piece of dynamite has been placed, so let's go ahead and detonate that. So we are finally going to be placing some levees over here, and I'm going to have to pause it. And so we have a lot of logs, and then we just have to make sure we also have enough builders. Looks like there are plenty. We'll just keep these high prioritized, that way if we have any jobs that become vacant, it won't be these two jobs. Although we're going to wait until the beginning of the next day to do that, make sure there's plenty of sunlight. With the beavers waking up, let's go ahead and pause it. Now we'll start placing in some of the levees. We have the first set of levees ready to build, and now all we have to do is find a good angle to record this, and then we will get underway. So I will see you in just a minute. So we just finished constructing these levees, and I'm looking at it. It is cycle 6, day 15. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a bad tide coming up really soon. If it doesn't happen in just a couple days, then I'm guessing it'll be the next cycle. In which case, we probably actually need to make a bad water diverter system to shuck the bad water over here, because I don't have the system that I originally designed ready yet. And what do you know, we have a bad tide approaching. I was just designing the system to get rid of the bad water, so now we are going to have to go into emergency mode, make sure we don't have any bad water coming through here. Thankfully the time-lapse didn't take any longer than it did, because if it did, we would have had to just basically finish the time-lapse and deal with the bad water coming over. We are going to unlock the double floodgate because we have plenty of science, and then this will allow us to not have to continuously build and demolish this whole structure. Looks like we were able to finish the structure in time, and now as soon as we raise this up, then we'll be able to divert all the bad water over here. We're just letting in a little bit more water to help power some of these buildings until the very end. A little bit of housekeeping items. We have 4 homeless beavers, and then their well-being is not doing fantastic. We're going to put some temporary housing in over here, and then also put in some temporary campfires. And with the bad tide, that means that this bad water spawner will continue to flow. So we will be able to keep producing gears and planks, although we are maxed out on both of those. Just added in some more storage, so we'll be able to continue to produce these without wasting any beaver time. And the bad water diverter is working. It looks like it's spilling out, but I'm pretty sure it's just a visual glitch. It's all going out this way. And just like that, the bad tide is over. The water is flushing the bad water out, and we can go ahead and lower all of these buildings. We will go ahead and set up some more temporary platforms. That way we can go ahead and capture all the water, not have half of it flow out here during the very long wet seasons. And before we get going on the next phase, we'll let them finish building this, but we do want to get another builder's hut because it took quite a while for this to be constructed, and we don't want the time lapses to take too long. Next on the to-do list is shaping the mouth of the river over here, so we're going to have to start placing some dynamite. This is just going to make it look a little bit more symmetrical, and then once we can finish making all of this right, then we can start working our way up this direction, because I need to move the water pumps here, but that means that I need to shape this part, which really means I need to shape this part first. Oh, we have been working our beavers a lot. Let's drop it down to 18 working hours instead of 20. Not on high alert anymore. We're just going to keep storing up berries while we can. Looks like we were just about maxed out. I'm hoping that this will be enough berries to sustain all the breeding pods that we have in the future, but I'd rather have excess, that way we don't run out all of a sudden. We would be able to see this slowly dropping over time. So we did it. We exploded all of the dynamite over here, widened everything up. We will be putting some dirt in over here in the future, but we're not quite to dirt yet, so we'll be waiting. We are going to be placing a water pump right here, which means that we need to rearrange this area a little bit. Both of these showers have to go, but we can place some other ones right here for now. And then as soon as they finish this path, we will actually demolish the path going across here. And we can now move our water pumps. We'll have the first couple right here. Then we'll get rid of these and then expand the wall to be going along in this direction. And then soon we'll be able to relocate these up on top of this. There's going to be kind of an interesting power network going on underneath here for transmitting the power. But we got these two in, make sure they are high prioritized, and then we can go ahead and get rid of these two now. And I noticed my first error of the mega build, this wall should actually be right along here. So we're going to have to go ahead and get rid of it. Next step is we're going to block this off and then start building up the wall on the back side. So we just finished constructing everything here for the mega build, and I got the notification that there is a bad tide or drought approaching, and thankfully it was a drought, and also we finished it in time, so it was not a problem. So we are going to be placing some metal platforms. We'll go ahead and place those right here. You have 260 metal blocks. Wait, let's pause one for now in case we need to make anything out of metal. But it is a good thing we've been storing up metal blocks in the meantime, and we will continue to do so. So it looks like we have a 3-day drought, which is the longest one we've had so far. But overall we're doing pretty good. We have enough food and water. Wood is looking good. Hopefully some of these trees start growing up soon, which it looks like these ones are. We're making some good progress. We have some of the platforms set up, and pretty soon we'll be able to start placing some buildings up here. In fact, let's actually just place some of the buildings right now. We're going to want an explosives factory up here, and then we will also want a smelter. So we'll place those there, and then we're going to place in some levees over here and also some platforms so they can actually get into these buildings. But first we'll have to demolish these ones, and I'm waiting to do that until we actually have some new ones in, and then we can start placing in some engines over here. We are going to go ahead and unlock the engine, and it's going to be going, well, there's going to be two of them, one right here and then one right here. But we need to make sure that we have enough metal to construct both of them. We need 20 each, so we'll need 40 in total. So we'll want to make sure we have some stored up before deleting this building. We are focusing on getting a little bit of well-being up. It's been pretty abysmal for this Let's Play so far. We're doing what we can though to give them some pretty stuff and some areas to hang out. But we are going to go ahead and get rid of this explosives factory. We can put in some of the levees right here. And then as soon as they construct these, we can start getting rid of this path right here. And then finish off the levees over here. Okay, another redo. We have to get rid of this smelter, unfortunately. So we'll need to collect all these resources, make sure we have them, and then we have to bump up this power shaft under here by 1 level. Okay, now we have it in the right spot. We can once again place in a smelter, not a scavenger flag, a smelter. And we can go ahead and start placing in some of the engines. Get the first one placed here, and then I guess we can just get rid of this path and place the second one in as well. And now we'll finish this off, get rid of that and these three, put in the last couple levees, a staircase, and then get some platforms across here. So now we got some platforms in here and the water pumpers. We only need one of these engines going right now, but we will need the second one in the future, so we just created it right now. And since we have a lot of dynamite saved up, we're going to go ahead and start placing some over here. At some point we are going to have to rearrange the fluid dumps. This one's going to need to be moved over here, but we're going to wait for a little bit before we do that, because I know we're going to have to replace this forester right here. And then we'll go ahead and detonate this since there's no beavers around. And then we'll get this second set of dynamite placed in as soon as they build this platform right here. And then we're also going to get a bridge going across here. Looks like this is a 4 span, so we'll put that in. And now we just got to keep going down. And we are on the final piece of dynamite, and then the water will be able to go over this area. What we will do after we dynamite all this out is we're going to make a path over this direction, and that way we can have some of the bad water spill out this way. There's going to be a floodgate system, kind of like what we have over here, but just a little bit larger. So I'm looking at how much metal we have. We only have 30 blocks, and I think that we need to make a temporary smelter somewhere over here. And we have a flurry of activity going on. They are just about done with this other level. We're just placing a bunch of dynamite down and then also building this up a little bit, because this wall will extend all the way to the back, and it's actually going to be quite a bit higher over here. But we're going one step at a time. So we're going to detonate this. This is not going to be in the mega build, obviously. It's always satisfying to see dynamite explode. We have our second smelter, and they're building some power wheels that will help power it for the time being. It'll be pretty easy to scale this up if needed. We can just place a second one right here, and then we can keep going this direction. We'll just need to add some more water wheels over here. And we have another drought approaching, but we have plenty of water, not a problem. So we will carry on business as usual. And this is making enough power that we can justify getting a second one of these in. Just trying to get as many metal blocks right now as we can, because we're going to be making a few pretty big metal platforms in the future. And the final level of the dynamite, let's take a look at what this looks like. Ooh. See all the water jiggling around. So we can go ahead and start demolishing some of these buildings. Although I should have gone a little slower, because they can't reach this now. Unless we do this. Nice, so it's all stacked up together so we can have them collect it. And we can also get rid of these now. And since they can collect it from above, we'll just get rid of all these as well. And you can see the flow rate is really slowing down. And we do have a 2-day drought. But we're just going to breeze through that and pause a couple of these guys. In preparation for the next phase, what we're going to do is get a bunch of platforms set up along in this direction. And I don't think that it needs to be in the mega build, so we're just going to start putting them out here. And so with all of these platforms, that's going to allow them to place down the levees along here a lot faster. So instead of placing one levee at a time going in this direction, we can have them place them all along here from the side. So that's going to make the mega build go a lot faster. And the drought has ended, and the bad water loves to do this weird flashy thing. And to speed this process up, we're going to go ahead and give the beavers access to everything over here. That way they can do exactly what I was saying for constructing the levees. Build it all from the side instead of just going one at a time. So let's see if this will be enough to allow us to construct this metal platform. And we can't construct it right now because we can't actually reach this center. So we need to be a little bit closer, but maybe this bridge will get us right on top, and I think it should work. And the beavers are making great progress. They're going all along here. And as soon as they have all these constructed, we can start looking at getting some levees placed over here. That'll probably be the next thing that we record for the mega build. And we might be leveling out a little bit in terms of our beaver population. We still have 5 vacant jobs, so maybe we need to get one more breeding pod. Okay, they are putting all the metal down here. You can see that we're starting to fill it up. It takes quite a bit. Well, we can make this lowest priority, although they're going to finish that probably because you can only go one at a time, going out this way to get the platforms in. And I'm really glad we have 3 smelters at this point, because even with 3 it's still only 1 metal block every 1.3 hours. Although now I'm thinking about it, we're actually going to do this instead. So we're going to place all the levees along here, and then it's going to make the water go around this way and then zigzag back and then go over here. So let's go ahead and pause for now and then double check that they can actually access this. Go all the way over here, and so we're gonna go all the way like this because we are going to be having some floodgates over here, but that's going to be a little bit of a ways off because we have to go up several more levels of levees before reaching the top. And the beavers won't be able to reach this top level unless we get something constructed over here. And then we also want to assign priority. This is going to be lowest, and then we want to make sure that they can construct this first, that way they can have access to reach the top level. And after I find a good angle for this, I'm going to record, and so I'll see you in just a second. And just like that, we have this section complete, and we've done quite a bit in today's episode. We have the scaffolding set up for the backside, and we will be placing that along the whole back area and replace these floodgates at some point. But we do need to set up the diversion system for bad water, and that's going to be going over in this direction. And then we have some of the production moved to over here, and we have our first couple engines in. Overall, the city's functioning pretty well. It's a small map, so we don't have a whole lot of room to work with. If you enjoyed today's episode, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and consider becoming a YouTube channel member. I appreciate all the support from every one of you, and hopefully you've been enjoying the series. And with that, we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.